Dre O'Neill. Let's go. Hello and welcome to your USANA Advanced Wednesday webinar. My name is Jared Krebs. I'm coming at you live from San Antonio, Texas. And before we have our special guest come on and share his story today, I want to remind you of 10 things to expect when building your USANA business. Number 1, there will be ups and downs, just how it is going to be. Number 2, success or failure is up to you. If you succeed, it's because of you. If you fail, it's because of you, not because of the person who invited you to USANA. Number 3, the goal is for you to become independent and be an independent leader for your team. Number 4, make your plan on the weekends. Do it, review it, and make adjustments. Plan, do, review, adjust. Number 5, it's going to take time. It's going to take 1 year to become competent at the skills. It's going to take 3 years to create a significant part-time income. It's going to take 5 years to become a significant earner and 7 years to become world-class. It's going to take time. Number 6, it takes consistent work and hustle. Number 7, you're going to have to grow and get outside of your comfort zone and do Facebook Lives. Number 8, mental toughness is necessary. Number 9, the grass is not greener in other companies. I've seen people leave USANA, never make what they made with their USANA business. And number 10, this is a long-term game. USANA is 26 years strong with over $2.5 billion paid to its associates. It's provided me and my wife, Crystal, a full-time income for over a decade, as well as thousands of people around the world, hundreds of thousands of people making a part-time income with USANA, and it's a stable company, and this is a long-term game. The last thing I want to say is always remember that amateurs sell products, but professionals sell the vision. Make sure that you're sharing the This is USANA video with your prospects so they see the full picture of USANA. Why just have great health when you can also make great income and have time freedom and all the benefits that come with having a USANA business? And few have done it as well as Mr. Daniel Faragao out of California. He's a Ruby director, and I have watched him grow in the company, and he was actually one of the top client enrollers in North America this past year at the USANA International Convention. He's won several awards, and he's very well respected in the company. Daniel, thank you so much for being on this call. We're so excited to hear your story. I actually don't know your story, so I'm really excited to learn what your USANA vision is. And we want to know everything. We want to know like what your life was like before USANA, who introduced you, what challenges did you overcome, and what's your life like today thanks to your USANA business. And we'll basically go into a story mode for about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. Daniel, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're pumped, man. We got the same shirt on. Come on.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
It's
That was not planned.
It's my favorite shirt.
This is our USANA shirt, by the way. This is from convention. You want to have cool shirts like this? You go to convention, right?
I have a few of them actually.
Yeah.
Which I bought extras. So my full name is Victor Daniel Faragao. I go by Daniel because I'm Victor III. And
oh, okay.
I don't want to create confusion. And you made a little mistake. I'm a lot in California because I have relatives there, but I live in Seattle.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that. There's something I just learned. Wow, okay.
Yeah. So I travel a lot to California, so probably this is why you saw pictures on Facebook and you assumed. My background is in electronics and business. This is what I've studied. I use some of what I've learned in this business, but not everything. All my life, I never liked to have a 9-to-5 job. I always looked for ways to make money somehow else, somewhere else in a different way. Something that will give me freedom and make my own schedule. and to not report to a boss. Um, I never refused any works, even if I have a certain background. I took any kind of jobs from constructions to working for a data recovery and forensics company. So I'm one of those guys that is not afraid to work. But when it comes to direct selling, I was against it. I didn't like it. The idea of network marketing or MLMs. I've been exposed to many companies throughout the years, and my friends, they would call me. Some of them trick me to go to presentations. And I even had one time one of my friends he was willing to pay the enrollment fee, $500 only to be on his team. And I said, no, because you cannot make money in this company. I always went with my questions for whoever presented, and did an assessment. And I was like kind of skeptic after having all the information. And I enrolled like 10, 12 years ago in one direct selling company. But it was kind of like my wife's cousin calling after midnight. You have to sign up for this. No, I'm not interested. No, give me the information. And we did it over the phone in 5 minutes. It was a nutritional company. I was in nutrition. And I joined for the business, kind of being pushed from behind. I don't want to. I ended up using the products, and they were amazing. I really liked them. And now, for particular reasons, I could not use those products anymore. I'm not getting into details. And for a couple of years, I used whatever was on the shelf, Kirkland brand, whatever I found, whatever I thought maybe I can replace my nutrition with, And I was looking for something better because I did not see results. This is how I discovered USANA. One of my friends, Mike Georgescu, maybe you're going to see him around because he's rising now. He tried to tell me about USANA several times, but his approach was like, what if you replace all these bottles on your countertop with one bottle, and never went farther than that. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. If you don't know how to tell me the story, it wasn't something that I did on purpose, but if you don't know how to tell the story, I wasn't interested. And years later, finally, he crossed a certain line, and finally I understood about the USANA products, how good they are, that they can replace whatever I was using. Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe Alan Pashka. He knocked on my door one day. We had an appointment, came to, he's a Ruby director. Right now he's in Romania. That's another story. And he came over to enroll me, and he presented a really good job presenting this company, the products, the science behind. This product is good for this. This is for this. And I enrolled on the spot, and my first order was almost 500 points. And after I enrolled, he was like, well, there is a business part. And I was like, I'm not interested. But you never know. No, I'm not interested. And he was pushing the business. I ended the conversation with, don't waste your time and mine. I'm not going to do direct selling. I'm not interested. I have my own little business that I'm doing now. That's fine. It's enough for me. And I do not trust direct selling. It took me about 2 months. There were little events. And it took me about 2 months to realize that USANA is different than everything I've been exposed to. I tried to help my family, my friends, with who needed the nutrition. I didn't think about money. I didn't think about the business. I was just helping because I saw how USANA products helped me. And I just received some checks, and I was shocked to receive checks in mail because I didn't do anything. And then one day, Mircea, Mike, my sponsor, stopped by because we're friends. We see each other on a regular basis. And he's like, oh, I'm on my way to have coffee with Alan and Theo. Do you want to come? Yes, why not? And I realized that there is a team because they were talking about USANA in a Starbucks coffee. together and planning. And I'm like, oh, interesting. There is a team. And then one day, it was Thursday, Alan called me, hey, tomorrow morning, I'm going to pick you at 7 o'clock. I'm going to stop by. You owe me $15. I bought a ticket for you. It was a local event, like a regional convention, quite big. And he was like, I already got your ticket. He never asked me. And you owe me $15, and I'm going to take you. So I said, well, I asked my wife, may I? She was like, yeah, of course. So I went. And at that mini convention, that event, it was the moment when everything changed for me. So just a little note for everyone listening, go to events. Because when you go to events, something happens there. And I realized, I mean, there was the moment when I said, okay, I want to do the USANA business. And when I decided to go for the USANA business, I was 100% in. Nothing held me back. I just gave it all my attention, all my energy, my time. I started building. Now I was proactive, intentional in building USANA business. It wasn't just trying to help my relatives. And I didn't even realize how fast I was going. I was skipping ranks. I became a silver director pretty soon after that. And people were looking at me and calling me and sending me messages. Hey, congratulations, you're moving fast. I was like, what? I didn't have the feeling that I expect everyone should move like this, fast. It's so easy. You have a really good product. You have a really good compensation plan. Everything is there. Why other people are not moving like I was moving? And after that, I had a chance to spend some time with Dennis Chen. He was in town, and our slot was like 7 to 9. And many times it was 1, 2, 3 in the morning that we would leave his hotel because we had so many questions. And the guy was there for us. When he saw that we have questions, he just spent the time. He slept 2 hours, 3 hours a night just to give everything. And I was shocked. I said, this guy has nothing to gain because of me. And still, he's wasting his time and energy on me. Why? And then I met other USANA leaders, and I realized that this is a family. This is a different culture. It's like completely different than what I've been exposed before. I went to my first national convention. It was in Las Vegas that year. And I told Alan, it feels like it's the word I used was kind of, this is childish, but not childish in a bad way, but in a good way, where everybody, like children, when they play, they're vulnerable. Nobody is holding anything back. Everybody feels very comfortable with everybody. It's like a big family. And I couldn't find a better word to express that moment. And I used that word, and then I had to explain what I meant. And I realized there is a family. This is a family, not just another company. Like with my first experience with network marketing, I joined for the business, and I ended up with a product. Here, I joined for the product, and I ended up doing the business full time. Excuse me, I just put some notes here. I don't want to forget anything. Looking on my screen is because...
Hey bro, this story is awesome. I love what you said about events and how things switched and shifted for you. Everything is great. Keep it going.
Thank you. So I used every incentive that USANA has in order to grow. I tried to qualify for Future Leader as soon as I realized that there is a Future Leader incentive or program. I tried to qualify for Leadership Summit, and I used this as a stepping ladder, to go up, to improve my business, to grow it in a healthy way. If I wasn't successful first time, I didn't give up. And I always had goals, like when I was in, and I realized what it's all about. I had milestones, goals. I had a plan how to reach it. For example, I want to be goal director within a year, like 12 months more. by the end of the year, 2016. It didn't happen. It happened 3 months later. And this is a very interesting story. I had the plane tickets, everything for the San Diego national uh, celebration, and everything went against me. Everything, like the other business problems, employees problems, everything was going bad. So I had to cancel, and I don't know why. It's very interesting how things work in the end for us. That Saturday, I had a big meeting that I planned since I was staying home, and that was the start for my gold run. That meeting, when other people were at a convention, I started my run for gold. I became gold director. Then the international convention. Then again, I was start to work toward the executive rank, because you reach a certain level, but usually you go a little bit back. I was thinking about running for executive a certain time. It happened a little bit earlier this time. It just happened. Whenever you build this business, it comes in waves. You have to be always prepared, because you never know when it's going to happen. Something's going to happen in your team. And I just had few leaders that they decided we want to do it finally. And I just assisted them, and boom, I was executive. And my plans to become Ruby, because again, I had a goal, I had a plan, I was working toward that goal. My plan was to become Ruby sometime in like last July, June, maybe. And again, it just happened. It was during the Long Beach National celebration. Before that, I had a really good week. Now, I want to jump to a different thing right now before I go further with this story. I have few friends. Excel. I love Excel. I take my numbers from the hub, put it in the Excel I created, and it crunches for me and gives me all kinds of scenarios and statistics and provisions. And I know where I am, where I was, and where I'm going. And it's easy then to know what I have to do to reach my goal, to maximize my return for my investment, my time spent, my energy. So I saw the graphic jumping several times over a certain threshold. I had a limit, and I was like, it's interesting. And the week before the national convention, I just had over 2,000, and it was looking like, again, I'm gonna be over. Alex Sulistio, maybe you know him, or Andy. He called me, "Are you running for Ruby?" And I'm like, "How do you know?" I didn't tell anyone yet. I saw that you were, he looked at I was in some statistics somewhere on USANA's website, and I knew the other person. It was a long story. He explained how he figured out. And I said, "I am, but don't tell anyone." I went to the convention. I told Alan and Theo, and it just happened. It just happened. It's when you show your team, because this is what I've been doing the 90 days before, just taking care of my team, the leaders. I was there to support them, to help them grow. Without even thinking, your numbers will go up, and then you can be proactive, intentional, trying to keep them up for long enough to reach a certain level. I'm always using the 8 cycle, not the 4 cycle. And unless you use an Excel to put the numbers every week, you don't have the numbers for 8 cycles, 8 weeks. What's going on now in my life? We just opened Romania this year, as you probably know. I'm Romanian, and I started working like more than 2 years ago in Romania. And my approach was to bring potential leaders over here, family, of course, and work with them here, take them to the conventions, international conventions, again, events, big events. I brought my brother. He was amazed. Then he spent a month training every day for many hours. And he went back to Romania. He lives in Romania. Then I brought my other brother and my father over together with him next year. But in the meantime, we started building there. And when we knew that Romania is going to open, we just went in full speed there. We invested a lot of time, a lot of energy. And this is, again, a side note. Our secret for the growth there, which is really fast, really, I mean, I'm impressed of what they did there, is they try to help people. Whenever you try to help them, you're not thinking about yourself in a selfish mode, in a selfish way. Whenever you try to help people, then you're going to grow too. It's impossible in USANA because of the compensation plan, the way everything is done in USANA, it's impossible not to grow. And my father is the first gold director in Romania now, 4 weeks after the opening. And so many people, they say, well, in 4 weeks? No, it's almost 2 years of work to get to that point. It doesn't happen overnight. It's just that you don't see the effort. You don't see the sweat. You don't see, how many nights I did not sleep because I was constantly on the phone, on the Zoom, on the messenger with them, helping because they had questions. We have a few hundred people now enrolled in Romania, and we have to help all of them. We identified leaders. This is another secret. Identify leaders in your team. Invest yourself in them. Be there. Give them the shoulder to cry on your shoulder when things are tough, and help them to get back on their feet if needed. We do a lot of training now. This is what we are doing. We use Zoom a lot. And kind of like in a few minutes, this is my story. I'm doing it full time. I didn't want to do it initially. It just happened. And there were things that they're different in USANA that compelled me to do the business too. And by the way, when I go to California, I go to my grandma. Probably you saw a picture of her. She's 99 years old. And initially she refused to be on USANA products. Oh, I take enough pills. And now she's a changed person. I mean, all the ladies at church, old ladies, they're asking, what are you doing? What do you have? We want it. We see the difference.
I love it. Mindset, strategy, commitment, focus, dedication. It's like there's no secret, but the enthusiasm that you have, the focus that you put towards your business. There's no wonder you're one of the fastest growing associates in the United States and the world of USANA. And I love that you shared like some of the intricate things like about the sleepless nights in, supporting your team in Romania. Cause I'm sure it's like 7 hours,
10 hours,
10 hours. Okay. 10 hours later. So you're totally on a different time zone, but like, some of those sacrifices, but it's like you're powered by the love energy, like I know what you mean. Like it's like you just love it so much. You're powered by it. And it almost doesn't feel like work because you're so passionate about it. At least that's how I feel, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
My this is a little story. It's not for the sake of bragging. You are in part who you are because of your parents, how they raised, and whatever qualities they had, they kind of influence you, and you have the same qualities. And my parents always like to help people. There are about 200 orphan girls they're spread all over the world. They call my parents mom and dad, even today, after 20 years. And I remember living in Romania in this smaller, European apartments and buildings are smaller. They had a little condo, and 50 of them showing up once, just knocking at the door. Oh, we are in town and we came to eat, So we had like 50 girls coming in, and we just emptied the fridge and the pantry. And, this is who my parents are. And even now they're taking care of a little girl, orphan girl, they adopted. And basically they taught us, you have to help people. This is the idea. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. when you help, but that's okay. And I think that this is part of the secret of my growth because I was looking at helping people before thinking about making money. And if you do it, it's going to happen. You know, you don't, I mean, some people, they cannot understand the concept of, you know, just being like this, helping people. And of course, be intentional. If you're not intentional, if you go by ear, if you don't have a plan, even the best of the best of the best, they're not going to grow.
So
Unless
have a plan.
really good plan, long-term, short-term, and you have ways of checking if you are on schedule, you're not going to be successful.
I love it. So it's a combination of having your heart in the right place,
Mm-hmm.
then also having specific strategies and ways of checking in and accountability and et cetera. So you're not just helping people haphazardly. You're very focused on the metrics, the numbers, and things like that. But you are helping people first and foremost.
And USANA culture came like a glove on who I am, you know, like, because this is one thing that I loved about USANA. When I saw the heart of the people, all the people I know, they want to help. They're not in for the money. They're not those evil, greedy people that they're trying to get the money. They're thinking about how to help people first. I mean, looking at all the leaders, big leaders in USANA, just go to a convention, approach one of them. They're going to spend time with you, spilling secrets. You know, like, I mean, where do you find this? What other company can you find this?
I love it. So true. Well, thank you so much, Daniel. We have a question that's come in from Randy Krebs, Executive Gold Director in Utah. He says, are you building the same way / method in Romania as you do in the States?
Yes. I mean, we have in our team, the whole team, Infinity 3, it's a team culture. We are together. We work together. And basically, I just gave them the tools and teach them how to use them that I created for myself. Of course, they needed to be adapted, how to maximize their return for what they are doing. That's very important too. And they're even more there on with the heart, because there's so many people that need help, much more than here in the United States.
Love it. Love it. Wow. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for sharing your secrets, sharing your heart, being there for us and our team today. I know you have a lot going on and you still made this call. I know you agreed to it like months ago, and here you are right on time as committed. And so I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here for us.
Thank you.
Oh, my dad just says culture and heart. Love it. Yeah, that's my definitely highlights from your call here is that heart and strategy. You know, it's really a combination of the two.
It is.
And I love that you said talked about your parents and kind of how you got that culture growing up and how it just fits like a glove. It really makes me appreciate USANA even more this call. So thank you again. Yes, this has been phenomenal. And so we're going to go ahead and end the webinar like we always do. We're going to unmute the lines and everyone say, thank you, Daniel, and have an awesome day. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, you two guys. It was my pleasure to be here with you.